Hey guys, I have a huge announcement. Massive announcement for you guys. As the man with the orange skin says, huge. It's going to be huge. Can't wait to share it with you. But first, I have some updates I want to give you guys. I'm Cameron Bertuzzi. If this is your first time here, I'm Cameron Bertuzzi. On Capturing Christianity, I expose you to the intellectual side of Christian belief. I have some really big news, like I said, and I wanted to give you guys some updates real quickly on what I have going on behind the scenes that you might not be aware of that are really cool, really awesome things. Actually, something coming up this weekend, as soon as this weekend. All right, well, let me get into it. Let me pull over here and get my slides up. So if you weren't aware, we did an Apologetics Empire meeting of a bunch of YouTube apologists very recently, last week, in fact, and it was a really fun meeting. It was great to meet everybody. There was a lot of people that we met. David Wood was there, Frank Turek, Mike Winger, Inspiring Philosophy. There was a lot of guys there, and we did a live stream and everything. It's on my channel. But if you weren't aware that happened, it happened. And now I'm back, and so I'm starting to put some of the things that I learned there about YouTube, the algorithm, thumbnails, titles, content, and everything. I'm starting to put those in place. So it was a really awesome meeting. And so another thing that is sort of coming out of that Apologetics Empire is, whoa, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. We're going to do regular live streams on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Central. So the first regular live stream, I need to come up with a better name now that I'm saying that out loud. Regular live stream sounds so lame. This is actually part of why I was late. I needed some water in my beautiful mic here. All right, back to what I'm talking about. So regular live streams. The first one is this Thursday at 3 p.m. Central with Lydia McGrew. We're talking about undesigned coincidences. I probably should have had a slide up for that. But it's in 2 days from the time of this stream. So if you're watching it after that time, then go back and check it on the channel. Anyways, this is the first one, and we're going to have them every single Thursday at the same time at 3 p.m. Central. So that's going to be really cool. We're going to be able to do, let me slow down here. We're going to be able to do a lot of cool stuff once they're planned out, and I can work more with the person, the interviewee, to get some really cool content and just do it once a week. And then everything else, all the other videos that I do, will be sprinkled here and there. But the regular live stream, I think, is going to be a really cool upgrade for the channel. All right, so next thing is I'm heading out to Atlanta on this Saturday for a CC meetup. So if you are in the Atlanta area, then make sure to come out and join me. I don't have a place yet, so forgive me. I'm actually working on it right now with some people that are in Atlanta right now. So this Saturday, what day is that? Let me pull up my calendar real quick. This Saturday is the 15th, February 15, 2020. If you are in the Atlanta area, I would love to hang out with you, meet you in person, talk about apologetics, just have a good time. So if you're in Atlanta on February 15, 2020, we're going to find a place to probably sit down and eat dinner somewhere. I don't have all of that worked out, so I'll be posting once I figure that out. But just keep it in mind. Mark your calendar that evening on the 15th. We're going to be doing a little CC get-together. So the reason why I'm in Atlanta, well, let me actually say, so that's what we're doing on Saturday. And then on Sunday, let me pop back over here. On Sunday, I'm getting lunch with Dr. Craig. So if you don't know, Dr. Craig's Sunday school class that he teaches is in Atlanta. It's actually right outside of Atlanta in Marietta, Georgia. So I'll be attending his Sunday school class, and then I'm going to be getting lunch with Dr. Craig and a few other people right afterwards. So that's going to be a really cool time. But the reason why I'm flying out to Atlanta is because I'm actually going to be interviewed on the Pints with Aquinas YouTube or podcast, whatever it is. He's kind of doing podcasting and YouTube now at the same time. So he's filming basically these interviews in person now, and he's posting them on his podcast. So I'll be interviewed on his podcast. This is also his YouTube channel. If you guys want to subscribe to him, Matt Frad is his name, Pints with Aquinas. His podcast is actually really, really popular. So definitely suggest checking him out if any of this looks interesting to you. But I'll be interviewed in person by him on Monday. We're going to be talking about, actually, I wanted to make sure that I talk to him about anxiety, because that doesn't get talked enough about in apologetics and Christianity more broadly. Like, we need to have more conversations about mental health. So I'll be talking to him about anxiety, my own personal experience with it. And then we're also going to talk about the contingency argument. If we have time, we're going to talk about Reformed epistemology as well. So it's going to be a really, really cool, fun time with him once I get out there. So let me get to the next thing on the list here. So on April 2nd, we have one of our biggest debates ever between Matt Dillahunty and IP on the resurrection. So mark your calendars on April 2nd, 2020. And again, if you're watching this in the future, then you can go back and just listen to it right now. But if you're watching this at the time that this is live or before April 2nd, 2020, then mark it down. It's going to be an amazing debate between Matt Dillahunty and IP. They actually just had a recent debate on whether or not God exists, which was super interesting over at the, I can't think of the name of it right now. Modern Day Debate is the name of the YouTube channel. You can go search for it and find it really easily. So that's what we have coming up on April 2nd. I'll also be a breakout speaker at the CIA conference in Dallas in the beginning of August. And what I'll be talking about, I think, will be media and lighting and how to make your videos look really nice. So I'll be there in August. I was invited to be a breakout speaker there. I'll also be at the EPS ETS conference in November, filming another round of interviews. I was invited to come out there and do another round of interviews. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't have my interview list yet, but that's where I'll be in November. This year it's in Rhode Island. So the next update is that I'm learning Spanish and I'm wanting to start a Spanish YouTube channel version of Capturing Christianity. You may have seen some of my posts about something like this, a Spanish YouTube channel or version of Capturing Christianity. And I'm really passionate about this. It just sort of came out of nowhere. But what I'm looking for right now is actually someone to hire full time to start working on videos. And so as I continue to get deeper and try to find the right person for this, then I'm going to immediately start raising money so that I can hire this person and we can launch the Spanish version of the YouTube channel. I think there's incredible value in having a Spanish version of the channel, Spanish version of the videos, so that it can be consumed by more than just people who speak English. Spanish is the number 2 language in the world, and the Spanish population is completely underserved when it comes to apologetics. So I want to make sure that that is rectified, at least with respect to my channel. So that's something I'm working on. And actually, so what I'm looking for is someone who knows Spanish, who can transcribe Spanish, but not just transcription. I need someone who's actually good at voice acting, because I want someone to actually record their voice, do voiceovers for my videos and my interviews. So I actually have a few different people working on this right now. And actually one person sent me, like they just did it just because they wanted to. And they did their voiceover for one of my videos on the puddle. No, it wasn't the puddle analogy. It was a response to Neil deGrasse Tyson. And so he sent me a little 3-minute clip. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but we are going to watch some of it. And I'm just going to show you, this is serious. It's going to happen. We're going to have a Spanish version of the Capturing Christianity YouTube channel. And this is just a little taste of what that's going to look like. And again, this is not super professional. He was just showing me to give me some idea. But this is where we're headed.
Hola a todos, soy Cameron Bertuzzi y este video fue contestar el desafío del Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, el cual... Nah, I'm just kidding, man. Hola a todos, soy Cameron Bertuzzi y en este video voy a contestar el desafío del Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, del cual él pide pruebas para la existencia de Dios. El otro día me encontré con un video del Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson donde dice, tráelo si tienes evidencia de la existencia de Dios. Voy a traerlo. Presentaré 3 pruebas que creo que apoyan el teísmo sobre el naturalismo. La primera de mis pruebas es la existencia de cosas dependientes, la segunda evidencia es el ajuste fino del universo para la vida y la tercera es la existencia del conocimiento moral. Muy bien, aquí está el video donde vi al Dr. Tyson dar este desafío originalmente. No tengo problemas, si mientras investigamos el origen de las cosas nos topamos con el hombre barbudo. Si eso aparece, entonces está bien, de acuerdo, no hay problema. Simplemente no hay pruebas de ello, pero si tienes alguna buena evidencia, tráelo. Ahora, lamentablemente no está haciendo esto por 20 años, aparentemente es lo necesario, pero lo haré en...
All right, that's all I'm going to show you. So anyways, we are very serious about it. I already have people sending me in videos and clips and stuff. So it's really, really exciting. I can't wait to do this thing. My goal is to have it launched by the end of the year and to start producing videos. And I want to start with doing my interview with Dr. Gary Habermas and basically do the voiceovers for the entire thing. So good voiceovers for him, good voiceovers for me. So I'm looking for someone who is good at voice acting, basically. And so it might require actually a team of people. But if I can find one person who can do voiceovers, who can do transcription, like accurate transcriptions, that's actually really hard, especially when you get into the higher philosophical stuff. Good transcription, good voiceovers, and what else? They've got to know Premiere. They've got to be able to edit videos, do all the music and stuff, and put everything in and make it look really professional. And I want it to be something that the Spanish-speaking community can really benefit from. And so I want to make it in line with my branding. I want to make it completely professional. I don't want to just do little transcriptions at the bottom of the screen, little subtitles. I think that's okay. But in order to take it to the next level, I want to do voiceovers. And voiceovers, like I said, I think it really brings it to the next level. So instead of having to read the screen the whole time, and even for people who may not be able to follow along with the transcriptions, they can actually just hear it and listen to it and get something that way. So that's what I'm looking to do. That's what we're working on. All right, well, let's get to the big news. So the big news is we now have CC memberships, and that's what you see, that little join button down below. If you're watching this on mobile, you actually can't see the join button. For some reason, YouTube is like really messed that up. So you can't actually see, you can't join or become a YouTube member, a CC member right away. It's not that easy. What you can do if you're on mobile is look in the description of the video and just do the little drop down, and you can see a little link that will help you just go directly there, and it'll actually have to take you out of the YouTube app and take you to like a browser like Chrome or something, and you can join that way. But the way that I have it set up is basically all that it is a way for you to support me, my work. So there's 5 tiers of giving, and I don't have a slide for that actually, but there's 5 tiers. If you hit the join button, you can see the 5 tiers. The first one starts at $5 a month, and at $5 a month, you get access to badges. Let me actually pull up my slide here. You get access to badges and emojis, and these are all custom. The little emojis, I had someone design these and draw little things. I don't know if they're supposed to look like me. I think they look like me a little bit, but you get these little badges that show up to your next to your name. You get these emojis that you can do in the live chat. There might even be, I'm not watching the live chat now, but some people might actually be using them right now. So that's really cool. And so CC memberships, the way that I have it set up, I have 5 tiers, and basically I don't give you anything extra. There's no extra fluff for the higher tiers of support. The reason that I have it set up that way is because A, we already have Patreon, and I don't want to mix the two platforms here. So if you're already on Patreon and you're supporting me that way, first of all, thank you, but you are not at all obligated to also sign up on YouTube memberships and do it that way. It's only if you want to get access to the badges and the little emojis that you can do in the live chat. But this is just another way of supporting me and my ministry and my work. And so if you want to support me more than $5 a month, that's awesome. But you're not going to get any additional sort of perks on YouTube. That's the way that as I was thinking about it, praying about it, that's what I decided to do. So if you want to support me beyond $5 a month and go to like tier 2 or tier 3 or tier 4 or even tier 5, which is $100 a month, that's amazing. I really, really appreciate it. But just think about it, pray about it. Let me know what you guys think. And that's it. That's the big news that I have. We just got approved for this. When was it? Very recently, just about a week ago. I got approved for it. I got an email from YouTube. They sent me a little email saying, hey, we got approved for this. So that's really cool. And I also wanted to give you guys an update on some of the things that are coming down the line. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. The live chat, I'm sure that the live chat is going crazy right now. I haven't even checked it. Let me actually pop over here. I was thinking about keeping this video relatively short, but if you guys have any questions, I'll leave it open to questions. I am seeing actually someone asking here right now. So if you do have a question for me, at Capturing Christianity, tag me. That way I can see it. It's going to be the best way to do it. So someone says, hey, Cameron, why wasn't Braxton from Trinity Radio on Apologetic Empire? So he was invited, but he wasn't able to come. So that was basically what happened. So he was invited to come out, but he didn't make it out. And we're still going to do more stuff with him in the future. So that's it. That's pretty much it. All right, yeah, so someone said, for the moment, I will support you by praying. That's amazing. So if you can't support me financially, it's no big deal. You can also support me by liking my videos, by subscribing to my channel, and just sharing the videos with your friends. That's actually a really helpful way of supporting me and my work. So if you can't do anything financially right now, don't worry about it. If you can do something and you prayed about it and you want to, then CC memberships are a great way. You can also do it on Patreon. Patreon is where you get the bulk of the benefits, and those are where they're all sort of tiered out, and you get really cool things. Like at the top level in Patreon, you can actually select a response video that I do. So you can select the content that I create on my channel. So that's really cool. So yeah, anyways, let me just answer a couple questions here and then we'll close it out so it's not too long of a video. Merrick says, what was your favorite part about the Apologetics meetup? So I think you're talking about the Apologetics Empire. My favorite part of that was learning about content and how to the different metrics that are basically involved in the YouTube algorithm. You've got to make sure that you hit like all of these different things in order for your video to be picked up by YouTube and recognized as like good content, so to speak, so that it can push it out to more people. So learning more about the algorithm, the sorts of variables that it takes into consideration, that was really, really helpful. It's something I'm going to start implementing in new videos. So someone says, Jao Victor says, what do you think about making channels in other languages? Well, that's what we plan on doing. Yeah, so I'm not going to post Spanish versions of my videos on this channel. I'm going to create a new YouTube channel, and I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to call it Capturing Christianity Espanol, or if I'm going to call it something else. So I'm deciding on what the channel name is going to be, but it is going to be a separate channel. So I'm totally open to doing Spanish. Spanish is the #2 language in the world. So I'm going to start there, see how that goes. And then once I get something solid there that's consistent, then maybe we can branch into other languages. But Spanish is the one that we're going to go with first. So Arenzi says, you come off as a perfectionist. It's really good to see. So I think perfectionism can be good and bad. So when I was younger, I was like a perfectionist almost about everything. And it was to the point where it was bad. And so eventually I had to learn, well, look, I can't make everything perfect. So I've got to just be okay with the level that is attainable and realistic, basically. And so at whatever level that is what I shoot for now. So I don't shoot for absolute perfection. I shoot for what is reasonable. What can I do? How can I best make this the best thing that I can? What's the most reasonable best thing? I don't know if that makes sense. So that's what I do. That's what I try to focus on. And I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to make the quality as high as I possibly can, or reasonably can. There you go. So the Star Wars apologist says, if you were to rank which philosophical arguments for God are the best, how would you rank it? I would rank it on what is most convincing to me. And that's going to be subjective, but I don't really see a better ranking system. Maybe you want to say what is convincing to the most people. I'm a little bit less concerned with that than I am with what is convincing to me because, well, I guess for a lot of reasons. But anyways, that's what I would do. Tommy says, no whiskey for Michael. Okay. I'm not Michael. I don't police him or tell him what to do with his life or his choices. Oh, and by the way, like I'm totally not against drinking alcohol. There's nothing in the Bible that suggests to not drink alcohol. What is prohibited is getting drunk and that type of thing. And I'm very much against that. All right, let me just answer a couple more questions here, and then we'll close this live stream out. Again, it's not going to be too long today. Hope Kuhn says, are you going to do Spanish voiceover on your older videos too, or only on new ones you create? So I think I won't be doing the voiceovers. I want to leave that, actually, because that's additional work that I would have to be doing, and I don't want to add more work onto my plate. So I want to leave that to other people who are good at it and can maybe even take it a step further. So, and I don't think maybe that was your question. I think your question was, are we going to just do Spanish version videos of new videos, or are we going to do Spanish versions of old videos? And so we're going to do Spanish versions of old videos. Actually, that's what we're going to start with. The thing I want to start with first is my interview with Dr. Gary Habermas and the evidence for the resurrection. So that's what the first thing on the list is to do my interview with him and see how that goes. That was a really, really popular video on our channel. And so I want to basically do the same thing in Spanish and see how it goes. So that's the plan. Yao says, what do you think? How would you interpret Romans 9? That's a little bit too off topic there, Yao. So I'm going to leave that one. We'll do one more question, then we'll close this one out. Marcel says, do you have any plans to bring Josh Schwamidas back on the show for evidence for evolution, as you mentioned in the interview you had with him? Marcel, so yes, the answer is yes. I do plan on doing that. And now that I have this regular live stream thing, maybe we can do that as early as next week, because I actually have an opening next week. We can do it next week. We can do it the week afterwards. But yes, the answer is yes. I do plan on bringing him back to talk about the evidence that convinced him that evolution is true. And I think that will be a very profitable interview, because it'll give people an idea that there is some good evidence that has convinced people that evolution is true, even if you disagree. It's okay to disagree rationally. It's totally fine. But I think it's important to share the story, his story, a little bit more fully. All right. Yeah, so that's it. So the big news, again, CC memberships. If you want to sign up, hit the little join button. If you're on mobile, you can't see it or do it. Sorry about that. But click the little button. You can join whatever tier you want. You decide how much you want to support me at, and everybody gets access to the same perks, which are, again, badges, emojis, and I actually didn't mention this yet, members only posts and photos. So in the community tab of the YouTube channel, if you guys even go there, it seems like a lot of you do, actually. I post on there pretty frequently, a couple times a day. But in there, if you look at it, if you become a member, you can actually get access to members only posts and photos that I'll be putting up there. So that's what you get access to as a CC member. But if you want to support me on Patreon, that's always acceptable as well. On Patreon, you get early access to videos. You can join our Bereans group on Facebook. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that you can get on Patreon that will not be available on CC memberships. But this is just another way of supporting me if you want access to badges, emojis, and members only stuff on YouTube. So either way that you support me, if you're even considering it, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not able to, no worries. You can still support me by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all the good stuff. So really appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I'll see you guys on Thursday with my interview with Lydia McGrew on Undesigned Coincidences. So I'll see you then. Peace.